has to be some way to flow through there and have this collection that somehow works together. For our church, there was a lot of duplication of what we call temple ordinances. When we get a name, we record it in the temple, which we believe is the house of God on earth. And there's manpower. There was a whole bunch of duplication going on. I would send in my four generation chart to the Salt Lake Archives, and my brother would, and my sister would, and my mother would, and it's like everybody doing the same thing. And there was no way to combine it. So, and all of us spent that same time in research, maybe even paying the guy in the back of the magazine to do the same translation. Maybe somebody else did, I don't know. In common, you had expense to get out there, travel to ancestral areas, which sometimes you still have to go to Germany to look those up. All right, so we had these personal books that we have kept for a long time within the church, and they were falling apart. Personal journals were, beyond their life story. There was a lot of duplication because we had one person doing the Temple Index Bureau, which is what we used to call genealogy, and the indexing. We were duplicating our indexing, is basically, because we had 2 or 3 groups doing it at the same time. I'm trying to get just through this. This is what it used to look like, but because I really like, these are the original duplication typists, and they're the files of the cards and the indexing. All right, so these people had huge books. Okay, then finally we get to the microfiche. You recognize that. And then International Genealogical Index, which wasn't shared really outside the church. There was a choke point. There was 125 people trying to validate these names that came through and put them out into some sort of system that people could look at. This is Wikipedia. You look at this, you read it, whatever, it's Wikipedia. Which some people like, some people don't, but by golly, it works. So the whole thought process behind Family Search is that everybody contributes, and then something really good comes out of it. And if I write something in there wrong, somebody else is going to come in within, I think Wikipedia says 39 seconds before somebody fixes an error on a major page. So anyway, that's what he's saying. Remember the choke point? This is what he's saying. Wikipedia model, family tree modeled after Wikipedia. Most people don't know that. Common point of pain for researchers, duplications. Quality versus quantity. Purchase, how to purchase that, and who pays for this. We all know how those names work. You had to travel to archives and courthouses individually rather than teams going there and focusing, taking the photos and everything. Sometimes they were automated, which usually, if you've ever done that, it's garbage in, garbage out sometimes, of how those things are put together. I remember dropping a file of 33,000 names, not on purpose, onto my wife's genealogy and ancestry.com, and it just went all over the place. And there weren't names that were really part of the family per se, but it was tough to pull them out. So some of these automated trees. So we took kind of all of our data within, again, the church, or within the organization we had, and we tried to put it together. So created, add, edit, delete, restore changes. Somebody changes something, you go back and fix it. Here's the explanation. So if you change it, you write in there why you thought it was, so somebody could argue a fine. You can discuss back and forth. No, Aunt Edna's buried so-and-so. Here's a picture. I remember one the other day. I had a photo of my Hatfield. And I had a photo of Mansfield Hatfield. Mansfield Hatfield. And somebody emailed me and said, he died in, I don't know what the date was. But that was 30 years before photography was invented. That's probably not a picture of him. Okay, so yeah, the discontinue of that one. Okay, so contacts, merging the duplicates, so getting this all bringing together in this family search tree. Remember the common points of pain that we were talking about. This is why he's the leader of our organization, and he says, hey, there's going to be mistakes, but before you can become an expert, you're a novice. So let's work together, prepare for some uphill climbing. You know what, I hear a lot of people say, genealogy is easy. Usually those people who have never done it. Okay, so this is what we also do in the community. We negotiate with churches, communities, etc. We have a large organization that goes out and says, hey, we want access to your records. Can we do that? Yes. You're going to charge us? Yes. Okay. When can we do it? When can we come? Image capture, the digital conversion, and then the online indexing, and then in the end, real happy guy over there, yeah. Online access. And here's Granite Mountain. You used to be able to tour in there, but you can't do it anymore. So negotiate access, whatever. Image capture, I love this. We have 185 full-time camera teams filming in 45 countries with all the places that we can get into and negotiate. So we have teams going out and negotiating and getting in and taking pictures and capturing images of things that might otherwise be lost. Every year, we get 160 million new records that are digitized or imaged somehow during that process. 100 million through microfilm conversion, 60 million new. So a lot of places, including us, have microfilm, which we're converting into digital so that it can be used and appropriately indexed. So basically a digital conversion, that's how we make sausage. Oh yeah.
That scan to digital is converted to digital. Is that all done optically and with computers?
Yes.
No human.
Well, yeah. There's a loader here. It goes through there. Yeah. I mean, it'll do what 2,000. Come over here to the tapes, the hard drive forms. Check for quality. Somebody's going to have to eyeball it for quality. Bring up the page, cut it into something that can be indexed.
So somebody actually looks at what the machines are doing to see if it makes sense.
Right.
Okay, because the human factor is important.
Got it. Yes, and I agree.
And they also take not only the microfilm, but the microfiche and all.
Right, they're doing, yeah. So now Granite Mountain has not only lots of original records, but they have lots and lots of microfiche that also have to be indexed, and that's, you got to look at it to know what's going on. Scan, digital conversion, didn't I just do that? Okay, oh yeah, here we go. Granite Mountain, lots of microfilm, lots of microfiche, 8.5 billion images of family records, and it's increasing by over 40,000 rolls per year. I wonder how much is on a roll. indexing is where things get really interesting and where the future is, at least the near-term future. We eclipsed that record, I think this July. It was 120,000 indexers we got going on one day. Kind of fun. All volunteer. And so kind of a Guinness book. And so we're trying to, you know, on that day, you know, there's a great big, sales isn't the right word, but, you know, hey, let's do it, party, volunteer party. And we registered 12,000 new indexers and had 70,000. That was a year ago. This last year it was almost double that. Again, free searchable online indexes. So online access, 3.2 billion names in the searchable database. So, as I was saying earlier, family search does not work in a vacuum or alone. We partner with societies, technology companies, Dell, you know, the camera companies, people to help us with the equipment. Genealogical related companies, i.e. Ancestry.com, smaller archives, libraries. There's just a few of the names of people that we use. This billion graves thing, I do that, I don't know, once a month or so. You go out and there's great graveyards, I don't think we call them that anymore, cemeteries, all around here. And you basically go out with your cell phone, you take a picture, and the GPS in your cell phone tells you exactly where that stone is. You upload it, somebody indexes it, and it's there. You know exactly what cemetery it's in, what plot it's in, it shows a map of where it is. It's a really neat process. And there, I mean, something anybody can do, and like I said, there's several cemeteries just right by my house that haven't been done yet. So we have agreed, I think I mentioned earlier, to have data exchanges with these folks. As a matter of fact, if you're a member of the church, because of our indexing sharing, you don't have to pay for those sites. I talked about Billy Graves, partner site. Now, the difference between this Ancestry and, well, between this and Ancestry is Ancestry, when they want you to go to a partner site or anything, they say, input your credit card in. I'm not saying they're wrong, but that's not what happens here. So Preserve the Pensions Project is something we've got going on. Oh, I was going to say, you know, in Philadelphia, they have the Revolutionary War Museum that's coming online. The church gave $1 million, and they're going to put a genealogical section in it. So anybody that goes in there thinks they might have people associated with the early days of the U.S., the Revolutionary War. Basically, they check out an iPad and kind of go through the process and see if they can't find their name, and it shows them. It's going to be pretty slick. Okay, so we all know how to read those, and the indexing, the importance of indexing before Major General Jacob Brown's piece of paper falls apart. And you know, obviously damage done here. Trying to read from family Bibles. It's just, I mean, you're at a race. We're in a race with time on a lot of these documents. And those who preserve the pensions, we're partnering with them. We're going to do $7.2 million. You know, this may be done. I'm not sure. Yeah, I ought to check Preserve the Pensions and see where that, if that is actually finished by now. So Family Search's role, connecting you to your ancestors, is what